Hello everybody, I'm doing a video from my yard. As you can see, I'm in my yard here, and this is the yard this way. So, kind of do this on the fly. I figure I'll talk about whatever and just go with it. So yesterday was a big day. The Yankees had opening day, and the Yankees won. It was not a pretty game, but the highlights were the hitting of the new hitter we got from San Diego, one of the best hitters in the game, Juan Soto, and he also made a great throw from the outfield. Got us an RBI earlier in the game. There was a home run by Oswaldo Cabrera. Great catch by Verdugo to save the game as well. So that and the Soto throw. And Verdugo got some hits that were really, really big for us. And it was just, let me just adjust this. Sorry about this. Just a little bit. Sorry about that there. Okay. Get a little better view. Okay. I am so sorry about that, people. I know that's not, well, as you know, my channel by now is very lo-fi. It's, I'm not exactly, monetized or anything, and I'm not pretending to want to be. If it happens, it happens. It's a bonus. If not, that's cool too. I'm just kind of doing this for fun, and, if you like my videos, that's great. If not, let me know in the comments section what you think. I just doing this for fun, basically, and just trying to pick things that I think people might like, a little outdoor video or, whatever. If that's a little something different than my usual what I do. Sometimes I film behind that row of bushes over there by the pool area. So that's always kind of fun to do. But this is a little different. I'm like out in my yard, It's a little bit different. You can see behind me the Norfolk Island pine, which is not actually a pine tree. It is a pagoda tree. And right over there is an oak tree that used to be tiny when we planted it. It was like a little sapling, basically. So things have really grown in the yard. This tree here is a sea grape tree. It is a very local tree. They like to grow at the beach and stuff. Where I live, it's not too far from the beach. I mean, to drive there, I think it's about a half hour. If you drove straight out to like east is, or west is where the ocean is. That's where the Gulf of Mexico is. So if you go straight out that way, you're gonna hit the ocean. And it's actually quicker than a half hour if you go straight out. I would say maybe like 15 to 20 minutes or so would probably get you straight out to the ocean. If there wasn't like roads that you had to traverse and stuff and go this way and that. So yeah, the Yankees game was good. I watched the pilot episode of Ted Lasso with my dad, and we really enjoyed it. A lot of people have told us to watch it. Has anyone seen Ted Lasso? If you did, please comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think of Ted Lasso if you've seen it. If not, I highly recommend it. So, really funny show. It's just to give a rundown. It's about a coach that comes over from America, and the whole gist of it is the woman wants to like sabotage the team because it was her husband's team. So she wants to sabotage the team, and so she hires like the most incompetent of coaches that she thinks isn't going to work out. But I think, just me guessing, I don't know, that he's going to probably work out as a coach. He's going to make some smart decisions, maybe get some personnel that's going to help him out and run the team right. But who knows? If I had to guess, the water boy maybe, the assistant, whatever, jack of all trades kind of guy, the little dude. What was his name? Forget his name in the show. I think he's gonna end up being like an assistant coach of some kind. because he probably knows more about soccer or football, as they call it in England. Us Americans call it soccer because in America we have the NFL, which is like our football, which actually I don't think makes sense because American football, NFL, you mostly use your hands, so they should have called it handball. I know there is already a handball, but when we invented football, there already was a football, so we kind of stole that name. So why couldn't we just steal handball and call it that? Although then maybe people would have gotten a little wrong connotations from the name, if you know what I mean. Handball. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking it too. But yeah, probably a good idea we went with football instead. But no, I mean, it is a stupid name. You only use your foot for kickoffs, field goals, and punts, basically. That's the only time you use your feet. Every other time you're using your hands in a game. So they should have come up with something better. Some kind of better name. I mean, they could have stolen anything. They could have called it rugby for all, that's kind of a lesser sport. I know it's kind of big over in Europe, but in other parts of the world, I mean, they could have come up with anything. I mean, you got, I don't know. I couldn't even fathom what I would have called it, but it wouldn't have been football. I wouldn't have stolen that from a mostly European and world sport other than U.S. Although I do like soccer or football. I enjoy it. My favorite teams are Manchester United, and I like New York City Football Club, which they're getting a new stadium right next to where the baseball stadium Citi Field is when the Mets play. So I just felt like a drop of like rain, and I don't know if you could see this, but the sky is like completely blue. So I don't know where, like maybe it was like a errant bird poop or something from the sky. I don't know, but it was something weird, or maybe it was I don't know. I don't know what it was, but anyway. So yeah, Ted Lasso, I would totally recommend that. And right now, the only other show that I'm watching, I'm going to start getting into Ted Lasso. I want to watch, if anyone's wondering why I closed my eye like this, I have a lazy eye. I had surgery for it when I was 15, and it was very unpleasant. There was a lot of blood. I couldn't turn my head from side to side. It hurt, and it was a long recovery for the eye surgery, and I'm not having it again. I was asked by an eye doctor if I wanted to have the surgery again. I said no. It was very unpleasant, and I'd rather not do it. And my sister reiterated how much I do not want to do that. So when the light is too bright or the sun's too bright or anything, I tend to close my eye. I'm very self-conscious about it when I'm in public, out in the sun. I try to wear sunglasses as much as I can. I wish I could wear them at night as well, because sometimes the glare from like bright lights can do that. I'm very self-conscious about my eyes, and I think ultimately my eyes are what you would call beautiful eyes. I have kind of a mix of brown eyes mixed with a little green, and so yeah, some people would assume my eyes are beautiful if they looked at them, but I don't know. They are a nice color. They're not totally brown. And I never noticed this. I looked in the mirror and I saw, oh yeah, it's a little tinge of green like mixed into my brown eyes. So they're a very nice color. A darker color. I don't know if you can catch it in the video. The lighting is right or whatnot. But so yeah, I wear sunglasses a lot. It's just makes me feel confidence in crowds, and like I can look around and no one can look back into my glasses because they're so dark. I wear the polarized sunglasses, so I feel like it's like a shield, and it works for me. I was told by an ASMR artist to wear a baseball cap low on my head when I'm in a crowd, and if I need to, look at the bill. And like that's my my kind of thing that will calm me down. Looking at that bill of the cap and putting my head down in a crowd. Sometimes when I'm in a really big crowd with somebody, like one of my parents or my sisters or something, I will just walk behind them because it gets so overwhelming and put my hand on their shoulder. That helps too. I don't know if anyone does that, if anyone's nervous in crowds that does that. That seems to help a lot. So the glasses help, covering my eyes. And another cool thing about the glasses is like I could stare at people. I could do like people watching. And they don't know I'm looking back at them because I got the sunglasses on. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to end the video here. But I just wanted to say, anybody who wants to watch the Yankee game tonight, any Yankee fans that might follow me, it's on Apple Plus TV tonight. So if you don't have Apple Plus TV, you can't watch the game. So Apple Plus TV tonight. But I will check the extra innings and see if it's on there. If not, you got to watch it on Apple Plus TV. So if you don't get it, got to find a way to watch it. Sorry about that, guys. My dad's like making me laugh. But you don't want to know what was said. It was just the funniest off the wall shit, basically. So I lied. I'm back doing this video. I just paused it, thankfully. And I was able to plug my phone in, and I am now in our Lanai area, which, just to give you a basic idea of what it looks like. It's got ceiling fans for in the summertime when it gets really hot. We got a holiday Christmas tree. Well, it's not Christmas. Right now it's Easter, but we do it for every different holiday. We do it up, and we've got the license plates, the Miller sign, all kinds of different signs here that, these are all places I either lived or my grandparents lived there or my dad lived there when my parents were separated or divorced. And I lived in New York, Maryland, Virginia. My grandparents lived there and my dad lived there when my parents were divorced. They're back together again since 2003. They've been remarried, but realistically they were dating before that for a while. They had a pretty long second courtship, if you will, just to get to know each other again and to see if it worked, basically. And my dad rented an apartment from a friend from New York that lived in Maryland that he knew from work. A lot of people from his FDA office had an exodus down to the Washington, D.C. area, basically the same area, which was Olney, Maryland, and that whole region, which is in the Washington, D.C. area, kind of Baltimore area. It was a nice area. There were a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see. There were museums, Civil War battlefields, zoos, the Smithsonian, basically, and it was all free. The only thing you had to pay for was IMAX theaters, planetariums, food, souvenirs, stuff like that. But everything else was free. You didn't have to pay to go see an art museum. You didn't have to pay to see a natural history museum. You didn't have to pay to see anything, really. The zoo was all free. Again, food you had to pay for, and I think, was parking free? I think in the zoo the parking might have been free, but I'm not sure. And if they did take money at all for anything like that, it all went to, their organization, the Smithsonian, which is run by the government. So it's a government, it's all national park stuff. And another national park, which is in Vienna, Virginia, it's a bit of a drive, but not too far into Virginia, was a music venue where I saw tons of classical music shows, John Williams music shows, Holst the Planets, all kinds of music shows I saw there. We saw Lord of the Rings in concert with the orchestra playing the music from Lord of the Rings, and you saw the movie in the background. It was an awesome place, and that was also a national park. They let you bring in a cooler with wine and beer and sodas and food and stuff. So kind of like if you're in California, any California subs here, it's kind of like the Hollywood Bowl. So in the Hollywood Bowl, they let you bring in beer, wine, and they let you bring in food in a cooler. So it's kind of like that. So and I think the Hollywood Bowl is also a national park as well. So that's why they let you do it. Um, so it was very cool. That whole area was super cool. And then like if you went into the central and western part of the state, you had the Appalachian Mountains, which was really neat. There was fishing. You had coastal fishing on the bay, the Chesapeake Bay, and the ocean, and the rivers and stuff. And the rivers, as you got closer to the bay, were like salt water. So it was like the ocean. So you could do like saltwater fishing there, boating, camping, all kinds of great stuff to do. Shopping in Washington and Baltimore and the whole area. There was all kinds of shopping, movie theaters. I mean, it was very, very nice. The thing I didn't like about it was the winters were just too cold. But every other thing I liked, I think, a little better than Florida. I think it was had a lot more charm to it than Florida in a lot of ways, and it was a Democratic state. It was a blue state, so I like that. So you knew that no matter what, your state was going to go blue. So, but you know, I'd rather take the warm weather down here than deal with the cold weather. I mean, you never know what the future might bring. Maybe I'll be back up there someday. I doubt it, but you never know. Never say never. But, yeah, it was a nice area. And I miss it a lot. I miss it so much. It's where I grew up. It's my home. I don't consider Florida my home. I consider this where I live. But my home is in Maryland. And I was born in New York. I was born in Staten Island, New York. So, Great Hills. But I only lived there for like 6.5 years of my life. And then I moved to Maryland where I lived most of my life. And I am now 42, going to be 43 on June 5th. I'm a Gemini gang. And I basically have lived here for, it's 8 years now, but in June it'll be 9. And then, so I've lived most of my life in Maryland, basically. I'm a Marylander through and through. That's where I'm from. That's what I know. And just couldn't take the cold weather. None of my family could. We were all ready for change. So, anyway, and as for the game tonight, if you can't get it, if you get, like, MLB TV, you might be able to get it. If you get that, you might be able to get it. I don't think it's on extra innings. If you get MLB at bat, which is the audio, which I get, you can get it on audio. And there's also the option if you really don't have anything to watch it on and you just have nothing to do, you could sit there and watch Game Day, which is like they show you the batter, like not the real batter, but like a cartoon version of them, and they show you the pitch count and everything, you know. So that's something to do. I used to do that with that in football sometimes, and I would when I'm watching the Giants and the Yankees back in the day before I started paying for stuff, before I started getting a credit card and whatnot, and I would basically put on some Star Wars music or something just to pass the time, and it was pretty cool, pretty neat to do. But I'm glad I now have the ability to watch it on TV in some form or fashion. It's just way better that way, or in person. You know, I'd love to go to up to Tropicana Field, which is about 2 hours north of me, and just catch a game there. That'd be fun. But the tickets are just so insanely expensive. I guess if I go on StubHub, I might be able to find them cheaper. But to get them from the Rays website, they want like close to $100 for bleacher seats. They want like $95 for bleacher seats. That's insane. And then every other seat is more money. So if you want to get them anywhere else in the stadium, it's going to cost you over $100 from the actual website. And I don't know if they're raising the prices because it's the Yankees or whether inflation just caused this to happen. But that's like insane. I can't afford that. And I haven't been to a baseball game. I haven't seen the Yankees in Tropicana Field or any, like, I haven't seen that since a regular season game since 2018. And then the next year I was going to go and I got pneumonia, so I couldn't go. And I've been to spring training games, but those aren't the same. It's fun, but it's not the same. I want to go to a regular season game. I want to see my Yankees play in Tropicana Field because it's too far to go to New York. You know, you got to take a train or something or a plane, and then or drive, and it's just too far. I'd love to go to Yankee Stadium. I've never been to the new Yankee Stadium. I've been to the old one, which was overrated, by the way. You know, the renovations made it not Yankee Stadium. It was the renovated Yankee Stadium. The upper deck was too big, too steep. We were sitting two rows back from the top, and it was just too high and too steep and scary. Even I was scared. Not as scared as my mom, but I was scared to go up those stairs and to sit up there and to stand up in the upper deck. And I missed a Giambi home run. Everyone who says, "Oh, look at all the sightlines," not sightlines, all the blocked views that you get in the new stadium. You got those in the old stadium too. I missed a Giambi home run because the upper deck hung so low. So, anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I think I've gone a little too far here, but I want to say to everybody, have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and may the force be with you, and God bless.